What if I told you that DJI is about to release a drone that could literally change how we think about immersive content creation forever? And no, I'm not exaggerating. We're talking about a device that captures everything, and I mean everything around you while you're ripping through the sky at breakneck speeds. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why every content creator, FPV pilot, and tech enthusiast needs to pay attention to what's coming. Here's the deal. Legendary FPV insider Igor Bogdanov just dropped some bombshell information about a drone that DJI has been quietly developing in their labs. It's called the DJI Avata 360. And trust me when I say this, if even half of these leaks are accurate, we're looking at the most significant consumer drone launch since the original Mavic. I've spent the last week digging through every piece of leaked information, patent filing, and insider report I could find, and what I discovered is absolutely wild. But before we dive deep into the specs, features, and game-changing technology, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'll be getting my hands on this drone the moment it drops, and you definitely don't want to miss that review. The urgency why. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about another drone? Fair question, but here's what you need to understand. Right now, at this very moment, there's a revolution happening in the FPV world. Insta360 recently shook the entire industry with their A1 drone, proving that consumers actually want full-sphere capture combined with dynamic flight. The problem? That drone had some serious limitations that left many professional creators wanting more. DJI saw this. They watched the market react, and now they're preparing to drop what could be the ultimate response. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is crucial. We're likely just weeks or months away from an official announcement. Early reports suggest a launch window in early 2026, which means if you're planning your gear purchases, you need this information now. The decisions you make in the next few months about your content creation setup could either position you ahead of the curve or leave you playing catch-up. So buckle up because we're about to break down everything we know about the DJI Avata 360. And I promise you, some of these features are going to blow your mind. The backstory. Let's set the stage here. DJI has been the undisputed king of consumer drones for over a decade. From the Phantom series that kicked off the drone revolution to the Mavic line that made aerial cinematography portable, they've consistently pushed boundaries. Their FPV lineup, the Avatar series, brought cinematic FPV to the masses with features like propeller guards and stabilization that made professional-looking shots accessible to beginners. But there was always one glaring omission in their portfolio. Despite dominating nearly every drone category imaginable, DJI never seriously entered the consumer 360-degree FPV space. Sure, they had the Osmo 360 camera, and yes, their imaging technology is world-class, but combining that full-sphere capture capability with their legendary FPV flight systems, that was the missing piece of the puzzle. Then Insta360 dropped the A1, and everything changed. Suddenly, creators realized they could capture immersive, reframable footage while performing insane FPV maneuvers. The creative possibilities exploded. YouTube channels started producing mind-bending content that felt like something out of the Matrix. VR creators found a new toy. Travel vloggers discovered they could capture entire environments in a single flight. But the A1 wasn't perfect. Flight stability issues, limited ecosystem integration, and a learning curve that frustrated newcomers left room for improvement. DJI, with their years of refinement in both FPV flight control and imaging technology, saw an opportunity. They had all the pieces: the stabilization algorithms, the flight controllers, the imaging sensors, the global ecosystem. All they had to do was put it together. The design reveal. Alright, let's talk about what this thing actually looks like, because the design philosophy here is fascinating. The Avata 360 reportedly builds on the existing Avatar FPV frame, that compact, protective design with the signature Kinney hoop propeller guards that we've come to love. But perched on top sits the absolute star of the show, a dual-lens, full-sphere capture system that looks remarkably similar to DJI's Osmo 360 camera. Now, here's where DJI made some really smart engineering decisions. That dual-lens system isn't just slapped onto the drone like an afterthought. Multiple sources indicate it's been integrated into the chassis design from the ground up, meaning the weight distribution, aerodynamics, and structural integrity all account for that camera system. This is critical because adding a 360 camera to a racing drone typically throws off the balance and ruins flight characteristics. But the most brilliant move? keeping the entire package under 250 grams. Yes, you heard that right. Despite adding a sophisticated dual-lens camera system capable of capturing full-sphere footage, DJI allegedly managed to keep this drone in the sub-250-gram category. For those who don't follow drone regulations, this is absolutely huge. In most countries around the world, drones under 250 grams face significantly fewer restrictions. No registration in many jurisdictions, fewer flight limitations, less paperwork, more freedom. This single decision makes the Avata 360 accessible to a massive audience that would otherwise be locked out due to regulatory barriers. It's the difference between a drone that only hardcore enthusiasts can justify owning versus one that travel vloggers, casual creators, and hobbyists can actually use without drowning in red tape. And can we just appreciate how difficult this engineering challenge must have been? Packing a dual-lens camera system, FPV flight electronics, stabilization tech, and a protective frame into a package that weighs less than a typical smartphone. That's insane. That's the kind of engineering that separates DJI from the competition. Flight performance. Now let's get to what really matters for FPV pilots. How does this thing actually fly? Because you can have the best camera in the world, but if the flight experience is terrible, nobody's going to use it. Based on everything we're hearing, DJI is leveraging the same flight control systems they've perfected over years of FPV development. We're talking full headset support with DJI's FPV goggles, which means low-latency video transmission and an immersive flying experience that's already proven itself in the field. The control systems are expected to be responsive and intuitive, exactly what you'd expect from a company that's been refining drone flight controllers for over a decade. Whether you're threading through tight indoor spaces or ripping through open outdoor environments, the Avata 360 should feel predictable, stable, and exciting to fly. One of the most interesting aspects is the Cine hoop design with full propeller guards. This isn't just about protecting your investment when you inevitably crash. And trust me, if you're flying FPV, you will crash. Those guards make the drone suitable for environments where traditional racing drones fear to tread. Indoor shoots? No problem. Flying around people at events? Much safer. Navigating through tight architectural spaces? The guards give you confidence. But here's where it gets really interesting for professional creators. The combination of protective guards and advanced flight control means you can attempt shots that would be too risky with traditional FPV drones. Flying through a crowded market, weaving between trees, navigating inside buildings. The Avata 360's design philosophy seems to be go where other drones can't. And for beginners, this is crucial. DJI has a track record of making FPV accessible. Their Avatar line already proved they could create drones that don't require months of simulator practice before your first real flight. The Avata 360 will likely continue that tradition, offering flight modes that help newcomers build confidence while still providing the manual control that experienced pilots demand. It's that sweet spot between accessibility and capability that DJI does better than anyone else. Imaging powerhouse. Okay, this is where things get absolutely wild. Let's talk about the imaging capabilities, because this is what will make or break the Avata 360 for content creators. According to leaked specs, we're looking at support for 5.7K resolution, with some sources even suggesting 8K capability. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do I really need 8K 360 footage? And the answer is absolutely yes. And here's why. When you shoot in 360 degrees, you're capturing everything around the drone simultaneously. But the magic happens in post-production when you reframe that footage. You can extract traditional 16.9 video from any angle, follow the action, create impossible camera movements, and essentially have unlimited camera angles from a single flight. But every time you crop into that 360 footage, you're losing resolution. This is where higher resolution becomes critical. If you're shooting 5.7K or 8K 360, you can extract 4K or even higher resolution traditional video with plenty of detail to spare. You can punch in on specific subjects, create dramatic reveals, and maintain broadcast quality output. It's like having a camera operator who captured every possible angle simultaneously. But resolution means nothing without stabilization, and this is where DJI's years of experience come into play. Their stabilization technology, both electronic and algorithmic, is legendary. Horizon leveling that keeps your footage perfectly level even during aggressive maneuvers. Smoothing algorithms that transform jittery FPV flight into buttery cinematic motion. This is technology that DJI has refined across their entire product line. And now it's coming to full sphere capture. Imagine this scenario. You're flying through a forest, banking hard around trees, diving under branches, pulling up at the last second. With traditional FPV, you get one perspective, the drone's forward-facing view. With the Avata 360, you capture everything. The forest canopy above, the ground rushing below, the trees whipping past on all sides. Then, in post-production, you can extract any angle you want. A dramatic ground-up perspective, a bird's-eye view, a stabilized tracking shot, all from one flight. This is the future of content creation, and it's why videographers and filmmakers are going to lose their minds over this drone. AI and smart features. Now, if all of this wasn't enough, let's talk about the artificial intelligence features that could take the Avatar 360 from impressive to absolutely game-changing. Early reports suggest integration with DJI's Flight Hub 2.0, which could bring some seriously advanced AI-assisted capabilities to the table. We're talking about real-time path tracking that helps maintain smooth flight lines, even for inexperienced pilots. Imagine telling the drone to follow a specific trajectory, and the AI subtly corrects your inputs to maintain that path while you focus on capturing the perfect shot. That's the kind of feature that collapses the skill gap between beginners and professionals. Then there's obstacle avoidance. Now, this is tricky with FPV drones, because you typically want manual control and rapid response times. But for beginners or in complex indoor environments, having AI that can detect and help you avoid obstacles could be invaluable. It's like training wheels that you can turn on or off depending on your skill level and the shooting environment. But here's the feature that I'm most excited about: automatic stitching of 360-degree footage. If you've ever worked with 360 cameras, you know that stitching can be a nightmare. Different software packages, rendering times, dealing with seams and artifacts. If DJI can automate this process with AI that produces clean, professional results straight out of the drone, that's an absolute game changer. Think about your current workflow with 360 cameras. You fly, land, transfer footage, import into stitching software, render, check for errors, possibly re-render, then finally start editing. With AI-assisted automatic stitching, you could potentially go from flight to editing in a fraction of the time. For professional creators working on tight deadlines, this isn't just convenient, it's revolutionary. And this ties into DJI's broader ecosystem strategy. If the Avatar 360 integrates seamlessly with their existing software, controllers, and FPV goggles, you're not just buying a drone. You're buying into a complete content creation ecosystem that's designed to work together flawlessly. That's powerful. The reality check. All right, I've been pretty enthusiastic so far, but let's pump the brakes for a moment and talk about what we don't know, because it's important to approach leaks with healthy skepticism. First and foremost, none of this is officially confirmed by DJI. Everything we're discussing is based on insider reports, leaked information, and industry speculation. Until DJI makes an official announcement, treat all of this as rumor. Battery life is a massive question mark. Full-sphere 360 capture at high resolutions is processing-intensive and power-hungry. Add FPV flight systems, stabilization, and AI features, and you're looking at serious power demands. How long can this drone actually stay airborne? 10 minutes? 15? If it's only giving you 5 or 6 minutes of flight time, that dramatically changes its usability for professional work. We also don't know about storage options. High-resolution 360 footage creates enormous files. What kind of storage media will the Avatar 360 support? How fast can it write data? These technical details matter enormously for real-world usage. Pricing is another big unknown. Leaks suggest a starting price around $100, with professional bundles potentially reaching $1,900. But is that for the drone alone? Does it include the FPV goggles and controller? What accessories are included? These details can dramatically affect the actual cost of entry. And let's talk competition. Insta360 isn't going to sit still. By the time the Avatar 360 launches, there could be an A2 or updated models with improved features. The drone market moves fast, and what seems revolutionary today could be standard tomorrow. There are also legitimate questions about who this drone is actually for. If you're a hardcore FPV racer focused on pure speed and agility, that 360 camera system might be unnecessary. Wait, if you're primarily interested in still photography, a traditional camera drone might serve you better. The Avatar 360 seems designed for a specific type of creator, someone who wants immersive video content combined with dynamic FPV flight. That's a niche, albeit a growing one. Final verdict. So here's my take after analyzing everything we know about the DJI Avatar 360. If even 70% of these leaked features make it into the final product, we're looking at something truly special. A drone that combines DJI's legendary flight control, their world-class imaging technology, and full-sphere 360 capture into a package that weighs less than a cup of coffee? That's remarkable. Who should be excited about this? Content creators who want to push boundaries, travel vloggers looking for that unique perspective, FPV pilots ready to experiment with immersive footage, VR creators needing dynamic aerial content, YouTube creators who want to produce videos that make viewers say, "How did they even shoot that?" The rumored early 2026 release window means this could be hitting shelves very soon, and at a starting price point around $100, it's positioned to be accessible to serious hobbyists while still offering enough capability for professional work. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you buy the DJI Avata 360 at that price point? What features are you most excited about? What concerns do you have? Drop a comment below and let's discuss, because I read every single comment, and this is going to be one of the most important drone launches of the year. And listen, if you found this video valuable, if you learned something new, or if you're now as hyped as I am about this drone, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the moment DJI makes an official announcement, the moment pre-orders go live, the moment I get my hands on a review unit, you'll be the first to know. I've got connections in the industry, and I will be covering every development with the Avata 360. Also, smash that like button if you want to see more in-depth coverage like this. It helps the algorithm show this video to other drone enthusiasts who need this information. Next week, I'm breaking down DJI's entire 2026 product roadmap based on leaked information and patent filings. And trust me, the Avata 360 is just the beginning. DJI has some wild stuff in development that could reshape the entire drone industry. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, keep flying, keep creating, and remember, the future of immersive content creation might be closer than you think. I'll see you in the next one.